Alright, today I have a 2006 F350 6.0. It's got a little bit of an injector stiction issue on a couple of cylinders. I'm going to take a look at it with the IDS since the IDS is a little bit more accurate on which injectors are failing. But today what we're going to do, instead of actually fixing the injectors and replacing it, we're going to try out this new product that you can actually find at your local O'Reilly's, and it's a Stiction remover is what they're calling it. So since I can't find any other videos that anybody else has posted to see how well this stuff works, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in this truck. You'll be able to see the mileage, the VIN number and stuff like that on this vehicle, so you can see how many miles are on it. We're going to put this in. We're going to do an oil change. So we're going to drain the oil right now, and we're going to put in ROTELLA T6 with this stuff in there. So with this, according to the directions, you're going to use half of this if you're just doing a preventative maintenance type oil change. If you actually have a stiction issue, you want to use the whole thing. So you're going to delete 2 quarts of oil and make it up for 2 quarts of this. So one of this is 2 quarts, so just add in 13 quarts of oil plus this bottle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this truck up on the IDS, and we're going to look at which injectors are failing, and then we're going to do the oil change. We're going to drive the truck for a week and see what happens, and then on the next cold start I'll plug the IDS in and we'll see how well this stuff is actually taking care of the injection stiction, so that way you know as a customer if this stuff actually really works. So let's get started. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the power balance test on the IDS. I'm going to go ahead and turn the ignition switch on and go ahead and start. Try to get through this quickly. So I'm going to cancel out the injectors here so the thicken is not compensating. And you can see it's actually not too bad right now. And this truck is really, really cold. Number 5 is the worst. But you can see it's a 8, 5, 3s right now at the bottom. So it's not too bad. It's 35 degrees outside right now. Let's look at the water temperature on the truck. You can see it's 3, 4, and 5. See 5 starting to dip there. It's not that bad, but when it's really cold, it's a lot worse than it is. So we got 4 and 5 that are dipping, and yeah, so that's a good base for us right now, so we can see what it looks like after we do the oil change and run the MotorKote it. Before, when I did this, when the truck was, like right now the truck's pretty warmed up, but you can look at the, go back to, see how hot this engine is right now. Look at engine temp. Temperature. Pretty much all I care about right now. So 118 degrees. So it's fairly warmed up. It's not too bad. Go back to the power balance. See if it's, so it's leveling off now that it's getting warmer, but before you can see that 3, 4, and 5. So 5's still dipping a lot, a little bit there. So 5 is the worst, I can tell you that right now. When I did a cold start on this a couple days ago, the 5 was really drooping down to about here. And you can hear it run like crap. So anyways, let's see what it does after we do an oil change. And then right now the mileage on this truck, there's the odometer. There's our odometer, so you can see VIN number and odometer. So we'll put about 300 miles on this truck and get back to you. Okay, so I'm back with the 2006 with the injection stiction issue. We're gonna go ahead and look. It's been about 2 weeks. We started out at, I think, 2232,802 or something like that. Now the truck's got another 1,000 miles pretty much on the truck. So it's been 2 weeks. We're gonna see what it does, and I'll go ahead and look. I'll let you guys see the IDS, and we can see what happened. It's 40 degrees outside. I'm gonna try to jump right into. It hasn't been started all day today, so it's really cold. So I'm gonna go in onto the IDS real quick and show you guys the temperatures of the vehicle, so you can see that it's cold. And I'll show you the VIN and the mileage real quick. Okay, so there's the VIN number, so you guys can verify it's the same VIN. Odometer reading, so we got a little bit more miles on the truck. So it's been pretty well driven. So since we did the oil change with the 2 quarts of the MotorKote from O'Reilly's, let's go in here and see what the temperature is here. Powertrain, engine. So we're going to look at engine coolant temp, engine oil temp, and for the hell of it, I'll show you transmission temperature as well. Oh, forget it. Alright, so we'll just look at engine coolant temp. I'll also look at thickness voltage too. A little cold outside. Let's see here. Let's pick low power, main power, and sync. Alright. Okay, so right now we're at 46 degrees on water, 44 on oil, pretty close. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into powertrain. Power balance. Alright. I'm gonna warm up the glow plugs real quick. As quickly as possible. Still see number 5. Let's clear this out here. So right now it's showing number 3 is still bad. A lot worse than what it was last time I showed it to you, but I showed it to you a little. It was only about 120 degrees on water temperature. And number 8, it did fix number 5. So number 5 was better than it was. Number 5 was drooping all the way down here, but number 8 and number 3 is still not where I want it to be, but it's a lot better than what it was when I first did this. So it's warming up pretty quickly. I'm going to go ahead and figure this out here so you can see. So number 8 and number 8 still bad. Number 3 still, as it's getting warmed up, getting worked up, it's still working. So it actually is working a little bit, but it's not helping number 3 and number 8. And number 5 is starting to droop down again. So still gonna need to swap out number 8 soon. So it's just gonna keep getting worse the colder it gets. And number 5 is still drooping down, but it's not as bad as it used to be. It was down here, and it's kind of fixed itself a little bit. Number 3 is still up in the clear there. There goes number 5. It helped it, but it didn't help it enough. So it's still going to need to be replaced. You can see number 5 still starting to drip down a little bit. And number 8 is still the same as what it used to be. So, anyways, there's your review. Let's go ahead and shut this off. So, number 5 there is still bad. Still going to have to replace number 5. So, and number 8 is going to just keep getting worse the colder it gets. Number 3 kind of fixed itself a little bit. I have to look at the video again to see which ones were actually bad again, but I knew number 5 was bad the first time I did this when it was cold. So it helps, but it doesn't help enough, and if it was me, I probably wouldn't waste my money on that stuff. I would just, because I'm still going to end up having to change out 5 and number 8 again. So again, we're running ROTELLA T6, so it's a lot thinner than the 1540, so it should help a lot on the Stiction, but the MotorKote just doesn't help enough to get this truck back on tracks for cold starts. But I'll have to do another review for the Arch Oil. Diesel Tech Ron already did one with RevX. RevX works. I haven't seen one with Arch Oil yet, but if I have to, I'll shoot a YouTube video on that one. So there's your MotorKote review there. If you have any questions, please comment or send me an email, and please like and subscribe.